The ending of Spider-Man 2 PS5 gave us so many clues for what's going to happen in the next game, so here's my crazy story predictions for Spider-Man 3. And I actually think we're going to get an in-between game again like we did with Miles Morales. This time it's going to be Miles and Cindy Moon, who is Silk. If you didn't know, she was teased in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man 2. So Miles will be the mentor to Silk in this since Peter is taking a break from being Spider-Man, and this will let us use the character switching feature from the last game between Miles and Silk. On to Spider-Man 3, we know the Green Goblin's going to be involved in this because Norman gets the G Serum ready for Harry at the end of Spider-Man 2. Following the patterns of the last game, I don't really think the Green Goblin is going to be the main villain of the game until like halfway through. Instead, I think the first half of it's going to be focused on Doc Ock, but not in the way you'd expect. In the post-credit scene of Spider-Man 2, he says he's writing the final chapter to his story. So what I think is going to happen is he's going to get out of prison, realize he doesn't have that much longer to live, and he's going to create a device that lets him switch his brain with Peter Parker's and control Peter Parker's body. Because if you're not familiar with the Superior Spider-Man story in the comics, this is what he does pretty much. He thinks he can be the better Spider-Man. He takes over Peter's body. So this is going to happen in the game, I'm like 99% sure. And Doc Ock is a way more brutal Spider-Man. Yes, he does take out villains, but he's killing them. He's just way more egotistical than Peter would ever be. He also changes a lot of things in Peter's personal life. He dumps MJ, gets a new girlfriend, gets a new job. I think we're going to get a playable mission as Black Cat where you're just trying to meet up with Spider-Man. You think it's still Peter, but since Doc Ock's under control, he's not as tolerant of her. He locks her up pretty much, gets her sent away to prison. And this will set up some DLC that when she gets out, she'll be like the new Kingpin, which is also something that happens in the comics, and she'll go for revenge on Peter, not knowing that Doc Ock was in control. And for the first half of the game, you're going to play as Miles and Silk, trying to stop the new Superior Spider-Man from this absolute rampage of just violence he's on. Maybe he'll even team up with some villains trying to stop him. While Doc Ock is controlling Peter, he also gets a new girlfriend in the comics. It's Anna Marie Marconi, but it could be really anyone in the game to serve the purpose. The important thing is that Norman Osborn takes the G Serum himself once he sees all the damage that Spider-Man is doing and the strength that gave Harry, so he wants to step in and stop the new Superior Spider-Man from causing all this mayhem. So he kidnaps Superior Spider-Man's girlfriend, and Doc Ock gets in a fight with Green Goblin. He realizes, hey, I can't beat him. I have to give control back to Peter. It's the only chance I have of getting her back. Once Peter's finally back in control of his body, though, he has a big final fight against the Green Goblin. I think Harry will join his side as Little Goblin Jr. because he really has no reason to hate Peter at this point. And since this is likely the last Insomniac Spider-Man game we're going to get, I could truly see them having Peter sacrifice himself to end the Green Goblin and save both Harry and Miles at the end. I don't want them to do it, but I feel like it's likely.